from your listening device all the way into your agent's psyche. It's Real Estate Between the Lines with Brian Lee. Teaching you things you didn't know you needed to know to help you become a legendary agent and turn your clients into raving fans.
Welcome to Real Estate Between the Lines. I'm your host, Brian Lee. I'm all about helping the real estate industry improve one agent at a time. That's right, I'm talking to you, that agent out there. Only you, though. No, I'm talking to all of you, but I am doing it one agent at a time. With me, lovely, beautiful co-host. She's looking gorgeous today, actually. She's radiating. I don't know what is radiating like not like a car has a radiator. I'm talking that you're radiant. My lovely wife, Cate.
Hello. Thank you, I guess.
And then Christian puts up with this always. He's over here. He's got some new devices. I swear, every time we show up, he's got a new device with another button on it.
You're right, B.
There you go.
Hi, thank you.
I'm hugging you, Christian.
No, thank you.
So today we are talking, we're in episode 30. It's kind of a momentous thing. Episode 30. How awesome is that, guys, that we started this less than 6 months ago. And we're already up to episode 30. It's kind of cool. The episode is called, What is Your Why? I almost feel like it's the old Abbott and Costello thing, like who's on first? Like, what is your why? But we dive into a little bit more of why are you in this industry? Why do you keep putting up with these things? Why do you tolerate with us appraisers,
really good
other
question.
agents, nasty people? What is your why? So we'll get into that today on what you do that.
It was unsolicited. It's insulted your entire audience.
I'm just feeling the energy from you.
Okay.
Know, I am
right.
kind of a big deal. I guess you guys don't remember this, but I do teach all over the world. I am now syndicated in my own mind.
He's the most popular instructor.
Named Brian on the South Side.
Huge in Japan.
There's a cult following. We're getting there. So every week we have a little episode song that I like to put out that kind of ties in with the episode. This week, interestingly enough, is by a group called The Y Store. Now,
I love this
what's
one.
funny about this thing is that it's a big if this episode were to go international, like who the hell is the Y Store? But if you are from Indiana, everybody knows who the Y Store is because they are huge. They're actually from Muncie, Indiana. Came out of there. I've seen them play at the Bluebird down in
they
Bloomington.
were from Bloomington.
They are not. They're not. They're
Okay.
from Muncie. I actually
All right.
looked them up and got into that. But anyway, the Y Store is just a huge local band. This was, of course, back in the 80s.
So on the off chance that this goes
90s.
global,
Well,
we're covering that for our global
we are
audience.
again for the
Somebody in
for the
Canada
for
might
the-
be listening.
for the contingency of
I wouldn't
Japan
know
that
the
we were
Y Store.
talking.
They can't fall asleep, so they play our podcast.
So the song by the Y Store is called Lack of Water. It was their most popular song, the one that everybody was, lack of water. Lack of water.
He's going to hate you if
I know.
he hears this.
I totally apologize. I have mad respect. I've seen you up on the stage. You guys rock. So I'm so sorry.
Was that the Y Store? Like a water? I didn't know it was. Seriously, I've heard that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the Y
That
Store.
was the Y Store.
We used to
Okay.
listen to that in the car on the way to school.
Yeah,
Oddly
yeah,
enough,
yeah.
yes. And
So it's off the
Lack
album Inside the Y Store. So they had
yeah, like at the beginning, you hear the door open. They're walking in the winter, and you can hear the wind blowing through. It's cool. I liked it. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
The album was released in 1994, so some of you may not even be old enough to remember that. It's track 5 off of that album. The length was 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Again, the Y Store was based out of Muncie, Indiana, and that every Hoosier, if you grew up in the 90s, I know, I saw him. I was in college, went down to see him, saw him at the Vogue and all that. So, it was a groupie of some
Yes.
sort, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So what it is that the song being that it was the most successful single for that song, I thought about, it kind of tied into this is What Is Your Why? It's the Y Store, but also that knowing that was their most successful single, what makes you successful? What keeps you going? What is your why? So to keep your business going, we're going to get into that today. So what is your why? Who's on first? Who is your how? Anyway. Motivation. That's what we're getting into here. And motivation is viewed so many different ways. You're looking for things that lift you up, things that keep you going. For some people, I've heard some people say, that's just an altruistic thing. It doesn't really mean anything. Like it's this blanket situation that's not really driving your business, but I think it's very short-sighted for people not to think of it and find out what keeps them going. Certainly, you're going to have some drive to do better. There's the financial component that you want to be more successful and all that. But at the end of the day, you do need something to keep you going because, man, the business just beats you down. And we at Between the Lines,
between your lines.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Again, I'm so confused when I sit down here.
Fault. I know.
What podcast we're doing because apparently there's a side.
I didn't know I said this. I'm sorry.
Twice too. Let's just be clear.
I had no clue.
You're never going to live that down.
No, never.
For those of you that aren't familiar, there was an episode where a crazy character showed up.
Yeah, where you didn't show up. I
was on the phone conducting business.
Yeah, you were tardy.
And
I
Super
had to
B
take over.
apparently was here. This sounds like a fantastic guy. Which, by the way, completely side note tangent with me. Today is Superman Day.
I don't even know what you just said.
Anyway, so happy Superman Day, and I'm sure if Super B were here, he'd want to say congratulations, happy Superman Day.
Does Superman need a day?
Apparently he does. I don't know.
When did he start needing his own day?
When did we need to have a composting
Is he under-recognized as a personality?
He's competing with...
He's kind of a new thing. He's coming around. He's becoming popular.
Okay, sorry. I just had to get that off my chest.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about motivation. What keeps us motivated?
Yes.
Having that S on your chest or the B on your chest, whatever it is. What is your motivation? What keeps
When
you
is
going?
Wasp Day, by the way?
Oh my God.
Is that coming up? Just gotta be who
The
you want
Wasp.
to be.
Yes,
It's the Wasp.
Sorry.
You really have to play back a couple of episodes to catch in on all this.
Oh my God.
Some of the listeners out there are going, what the heck are you talking
All right,
about?
so
What is
moving
this
on,
thing?
right? We probably should move on.
Motivation. It's that little birdie in the back of your head that kind of keeps you going,
moving.
gets you wanting to get out of bed every day, put your feet on the floor, and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And it helps remind you that every one of you got in this business for some reason, whatever that was. I mean, I'm a pre-licensing instructor, and one of the things that I do on the very first night, other than talk about myself, of course, and how awesome I am and why they're so happy, they're so
lucky to be there with you.
Have me as their instructor.
Yes.
Is we go around, they tell us their name, where they're from, what they're currently doing, and why are they doing this. And invariably, they all have their why. Again, it's just that it's something that they want to take control of their own destiny. That they're working for somebody, and they're tired of working for somebody else, dealing with the crap that they put up with. I'm tired of having a boss that doesn't appreciate what I do.
Me too.
They want to.
Wow.
Excuse me. Hope that pop filter works. To make more money. I have had a few agents or a few students that have told me that real estate is such an easy job that all we do is look at homes, and I love looking at homes and talk to people. So some people
so easy
miss out on that a little bit, but at the end of the day, all of you had some reason to get into this. Again, whether it was something of a lifelong ambition, something that your parents did, and you liked it, a friend that does it, whatever the reason is that you chose this for a reason. So we want to pay attention to that. And regardless of your reason, we want to remember what that reason was, or not regardless of the reason, but remembering what that reason is because this industry does beat you up. This industry does put you down. There's situations. We have horrible days, things that even in our personal lives that drive us down, and then also just push the bad stuff at work even harder. And just remember that you don't want to go back to work for somebody else. You chose to get into this industry because you didn't want to work for somebody. You wanted to control your destiny. You wanted to have that income. So keep that in mind. And to remember, or to remind you of that, it does become necessary. And again, it may sound altruistic, but writing this down, having it written down, not just remembering in the back of your head, because when that bad day hits, and there's going to be plenty of them. You've already had them and you're going to have more, that it's so easy to forget that. But if you have it written down, whether it's a quote, a phrase, a picture, a meme, something that remembers, we give some examples, like maybe it's a vacation for you. You have that as a motivating factor. You want a new car, you want a new home, you want a new family. No, it's not you want a new family.
Whoa, you want a new family.
It's just tough day today.
I was on the roll of new stuff. New vacation, car, home. Why not new family? No, it's not a new family. It's that you're doing it for your family. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Just a friendly reminder, it's Superman Day.
It is
Just trying
Superman
to change
doesn't
the
have a
topic
family,
over
though.
to something else.
He doesn't. I mean,
That's
there was
hilarious.
Superboy that was out there. There's Supergirl.
Yeah.
He had his
He's got
dog.
parents, though.
Does anybody? Now the side don't take it, me. Does anybody remember the Superman's dog's name? Anybody remember?
Super Dog?
Nope.
Just
Krypto. Krypto.
Oh, okay.
Man, you guys lost out on that. Anyway, I'm sure there are
Dang it.
people out there like, come on, guys, it's Krypto. How can you not know that?
So I was going to say, with all this, write it down, get a picture. Don't forget, maybe make a vision board.
Mm-hmm.
So Superman's vision board is probably Krypto, right? It's just
Maybe,
his dog.
or he's just he's looking out for Lois Lane, which is funny. I mean, he
yes,
had
that's
Lana
true.
Lang from high school and Lois Lane. He's got these two women that he's torn between, and really he gets he ends up with Lois Lane. He wants to have that, but yes, having that vision board, and putting it and having that information, putting it everywhere, having it in your office, having it on your computer wallpaper, put it in your bathroom mirror if it's necessary, put it on your car dashboard. Again, wherever it is that you're going to look at it, you're going to see it on those days when you're just so frustrated and so tired of it that I need to move on. I'm done with this industry. And you look at that picture, you look at that thing, that car, that vacation, whatever it is, and you go, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to breathe. That is why I'm tolerating that crazy appraisal, that mortgage issue, that client that I just want to punch in the face. Metaphorically speaking, of course. that's the attorney coming out in me. Anyway, putting it everywhere so you remember it. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Do we have a moment
Well, do we have,
for a side note tangent?
like, we have a choice?
We're picking up speed.
I mean-
Things are gonna be great. Wait.
Side note tangent.
It's a side
Sing
note
along with your own
tangent.
name.
I love it. I love
Hey,
it.
I'm singing my own.
That's true. You made your own.
Interestingly enough, in my head, it sounds just like Cate's, though. Side note tangent with me. Sounds just like.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kate.
oh my gosh.
I'm digging in. My side note's now taking over your side note.
It
Please
is.
continue with your tangent.
It is. My tangent's a little bit on topic today, which is crazy, but I'm full of random fun facts, like all kinds of
That's what I always think
useless information.
when I talk about my wife. It's always she's full of useless information.
That's how you. I love my wife. She knows
Did you
nothing.
wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? What's going on?
No, I'm Jess. I'm like written, like riled up here. This is great.
Well, many successful people have used visualization and the law of attraction and kind of like the vision boards and stuff like that to be successful. One of the ones that I really like was Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check it was like probably in 92-ish maybe. He didn't say the year, but it was a few years before Dumb and Dumber came out. He dated it 1995 and wrote it to himself for acting services rendered. And lo and behold, it was right after Thanksgiving 1994. He got offered the role for Dumb and Dumber for $10 million that he started in 1995. So
I remember hearing that story, and I love that
know.
so much. I really do.
How many years after he wrote it?
3-ish. He said around 3 years, but he carried it in his pocket everywhere. He's like, it was just his reminder of I'm going to keep going until I hit this goal.
That's cool.
Yep.
There were a few others. Will Smith was one that said he just always introduced himself as an actor before he even got any gigs. So
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger with bodybuilding, gold medalist Lindsey Vonn with skiing. She visualizes her course before she goes, how she's going to feel when she turns, all of that. So,
Yeah,
I
Tiger
think
Woods
it's
does
cool.
that. He
yeah.
envisions shots. IndyCar drivers will sit there with, or NASCAR drivers and just sit there in a chair
Yeah,
and
I like it.
visualize.
Yeah, it was funny that you mentioned that on racing because, again, the movie Cars, the animated movie, the Pixar movie Cars. One of the things that I loved about that is kind of getting into there is that what was his name? The car,
Lightning
Re-
McQueen.
Lightning
Yeah,
McQueen.
Lightning.
Lightning McQueen. As he was going down the track, you could see he had a blue line, and they actually it was a subtle thing. If you weren't watching, you didn't notice it, but just being a race, I've raced, and I know Christian,
You've
you've
taught
raced
this
too.
to me before.
Is that it's just you see that line,
see
and
the
I
line,
loved
yeah.
how they portrayed that.
There's
in
a
the
lot
movie
of
the
good
cars.
touches in there, a lot of
Yeah.
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But it's kind of like if you're not going to go and try and pass somebody, kind of seeing where that's going to be. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's a great side note tangent. I love that because it gives you that vision. It's seeing that path. You're not on that path yet, but you see it and you stay with it and you track
Yeah.
it and you keep on it.
Yeah.
That was actually a very good side note tangent.
Well-
Quote this, write this day down.
All right, we're
Picking
outroing
up
this.
speed, things are gonna be great. Wait.
Side note tangent.
It's a side note tangent with Cate.
Now I'm going to go write myself a $10 million check.
I'll be waiting
Excuse
for that one to
me.
be cashed. 3 years would be great, honey.
It's a deal.
Watch
need
out,
it.
it might be out of your account.
That's true. Well, honestly, if I have
She
$10
didn't say
million,
from where.
exactly. I'm writing that $10 million check. Bye, baby. Oh shoot! But again, getting back into this thing, the motivation, this idea, the thing that keeps you going, is there because again we've said that the business is going to beat you down. It's going to punch you in the gut. It's going to kick you in your face. It's going to kneecap you, Tonya Harding style.
Shoot. Oh, my God.
Sorry, I just want to throw it out there. I love that thing. Screw up with it. So the motivation will remind you that while you're taking that kicking, while you're taking those punches and the kneecap, whatever it might happen, that you're staying with it, that you're not giving up, that it does keep you going every
When Jeff
single
Galooly
day.
calls and he wants a house. Galooly? Is that his name? Jeff Galooly?
Jeff Galooly? Why do I know that
And
name?
Sean. Those were the two guys that kneecapped.
Oh, I had no idea.
That she
I remember.
hired?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember,
I just
she had her husband was Jeff Galooly, and there's a
Okay.
Sean guy that actually wielded the baton.
No, I did not remember that. I always knew the Tonya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan
that.
situation, and I knew there was a guy involved, but I didn't.
Are you taking a side note tangent, Christian?
I guess so. Go ahead. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
So again, having this written down, looking for it, looking at it every day, and I thought what we could do real quick, if it's okay with you guys, is to go around the table. That all of us have a why, all of us have a reason that we're doing what we're
I have
doing.
an X and a Z.
Is that an
XYZ.
ex-husband?
I do have an ex-husband.
Well, I didn't know if you were like we're talking vision board, so I'm going to have an ex coming.
They
Okay.
got divorced when she cashed a $10 million.
Had to pay for that attorney somehow.
So anyway, what's your why?
So each of us have our own whys, and I thought that I would be transparent with
Yes.
mine. Mine is not my wife because she.
course.
It's no my wife. My wife for forever has been my kids, and not that I don't love my wife. Of course
Did you
I
just-
do.
Just play to the camera there.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But my kids, they keep me going. I'm big into legacy. I'm big into creating something that is great, that both I can be proud of, that I can hand off to them, that if they choose to do it, that even if they don't follow my footsteps with business and all that they at least have the motivation, that they have they have whatever it is that they do, whether they're if they work at McDonald's, they're going to be the best daggone McDonald's worker that they can possibly be, whatever it is that they drive and all that. So they are my motivation. I have quotes of them, or I'm sorry, I have pictures of them all over. I have quotes around there. One of my favorite that really keeps me going is remember who is watching. That is just something that resonates in my head when I'm thinking about, I'm done with this. I'm sick and tired of business. I'm tired of teaching. I'm tired of real estate. I'm tired of appraising. I'm tired of whatever. I'm just worn out. Like, I remember who's watching. I slow down. It's like, you know what? I'm going to set an example for my kids. And that keeps me going. So that is my why. Christian.
Yeah.
Why?
Outside of the tens of dollars that we pay you, he's practically a millionaire. He could write the $10 million check based on what we're paying. What keeps you going? Why do you work with us? What's your deal?
Well, I like working with people and getting them from here to there. I love that. But I also like the technical challenge. But then I like the creativity part. That's probably the biggest deal. I mean, I worked in a corporate environment for a long time, and the creativity was not valued as much. It's not to say it wasn't, but it was more about, what you could accomplish and that sort of thing. But with this, things are wide open. You can do anything. And there's that creative aspect of coming up with things and making something out of nothing. I love that.
And being able to spend so
Yeah.
much time with Brian Seeley.
That's right. I think it's something. Just go in the studio, hop in there, and produce it. Boom, done.
Well, you're good at it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you have a blank canvas, and
Yeah, you got a
certainly
blank
you've
canvas,
had
which
lot
is a
of-
blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
As you know, if you ever had a blank page in front of you and you're trying to write something. So that's part of that is managing that. But that's what keeps me going is that making something that's now there that wasn't there before.
Well,
I like it.
And we certainly add plenty to your plate. We give you plenty of blank pages of, here's the heading at the top, go.
Well, and editing, too. I mean, how much of this he has to crop out? Woo!
More on the your side, though. Cate, what is your why, honey? It may have just changed, guys.
I would say I have three. One would be my kids. I just want to make sure that they grow up to be happy, good people. Our agents, I love seeing them succeed, and seeing them enjoy this career makes me very happy. And then my clients, I know it sounds silly, but I love seeing them enjoy their homes and make it a home. And when I get to kind of spy on them through social media and put up their Christmas tree or whatever, it warms my heart to see that they're enjoying it. So I know that's goofy, but it's true.
Not at all. No, again, I do totally want to rip on you right now a little bit because that's just what I do. But in all seriousness, those are the things, guys, that really matter. And also, Cate kind of lied a little bit. She also has her eye on a Porsche GT 911. But I mean, that's just another sub why of all this.
Can't blame a girl for that. $10 million will buy a lot of.
Right.
She has 2 Camaros in the garage. It's just not enough. She wants the Porsche.
I don't. They sit next to my car, but they're yours.
National Superman Day. What is it again?
Thank you for digging
Change
me out
the
of that hole. I have a terrible habit of the steam shoveling, just digging and digging.
It's fun.
Finishing up the episode, we always talk about a weekly quote, something that kind of gets you motivated. And something that I pulled from here is somebody that you all know and probably have heard of before. His name is Zig Ziglar. Unfortunately, passed away a number of years ago. But man, he was just a fantastic man, would get you motivated, would get you driven. I was fortunate to see him one time, and gosh, he had energy. I
saw him too. I saw him at Market Square Arena.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I saw him too, at MSA. That's
They
funny.
took our whole class. We went as a class.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Because he had a whole group of people that he brought through.
Yeah. Mine was a business thing, but that is
a
awesome.
National Zig Ziglar Day, that'd be good.
Yes, that would be. That would be. Yeah,
That would be.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
It's not today. Well, it is Superman,
today?
and Zig Ziglar was a Superman. So,
That's true.
But his quote was, "People often say that motivation doesn't last," which is true. But neither does bathing, and that's why we recommend it daily. And I always love that. I love that. I remember that. I remember hearing him say it, and that's exactly the truth. Is that the things that even on the good days you have to do this daily. You wake up. It's kind of the old adage that you wake up on the right side of the bed, and if you don't, you wash your face, you get going, and you look yourself in the mirror and say, "This is going to be a good day. I'm going to start off strong." And so you need that motivation every single day, and you might need it a couple times a day. Again, having those pictures, having those things, just find what motivates you. Review it every single day, guys, and it's just going to help you so much. Your clients are going to see it. Your businesses are going to see it, and it keeps your mental sanity there too. So it's a big deal. Yeah. So closing out the episode, just again, remembering that motivation will get you through those busy days or those tough days, certainly the busy days too, but writing it down, finding an image, a picture, whatever it is that motivates you, have it there. Put it everywhere so you can find it so that way you see it on your computer, on your car dashboard, in your bathroom, wherever it is. And that when you're sick and tired and you're fed up with this business, look at that image and let it remind you that this is why you do what you do. This is why you're in this crazy business. It is insane. Why you choose to do this, I have no idea, but there are reasons why, and remember what those are. So that's it for today, guys. You have a fantastic day. We love your feedback. We welcome your questions, especially about Superman and all that, Superman Day, and Cate and all that she does. Feel free to email me at brian@brianclee.com. Thank you for joining us today, and make your day legendary.
You've been listening to Real Estate Between the Lines with Brian Lee. If you'd like to learn more about becoming a legendary agent, be sure to visit us at brianclee.com and sign up to hear about upcoming workshops and events. Now go out there and turn your clients into raving fans.